365 days. What was not expected by the Constitution? I see here some students. I'll request them to read our Indian Constitution. I'll even request the professors, although they are not concerned with legal affairs. As a citizen of India, I must know the Constitution of my country. They say we copied the Constitution from other countries. We took some part of England, some part of America, some part of Australia, New Zealand. That's not the truth. Baba Saheb Ambedkar and his learned, all academicians and most experienced personalities in his team, they made frantic efforts to suit the Constitution for the common man of this country. The Constitution has given fundamental rights along with duties of citizen. Fundamental rights are there. Right of education, right of trade and business, right to practice, right to stay in every part of the country. We have forgotten, we have become backward country as on today. I don't feel calling my own country as a forward country, progressive country. I have gone over at least half of the world and I have seen the people. If you are entering in the lift hurriedly, the fellow in London, Europe will allow you, come, please come. Because you don't know when lift will leave and go upstairs. So you are always in a hurry. You don't want to follow the manners and etiquettes. There is no school for learning manners and etiquettes. They are taught in the school of house. They are taught in the school of house. They are taught by my parents. My mother teaches. My father preaches them in my mind, in my head. So the culture they follow, the traditions they follow is different than us. They take care that they don't dash even in a rush, even in a flood of people. They don't dash some lady or some gentleman or a child. Life is very precious, that is understood by all the foreigners, not by we. The rate of crime in India is too much. Atrocities are inflicted on women. Atrocities are inflicted on children. And the country was required to frame various enactments, acts for the protection of women, for the protection of children from sexual violence, from point of view of their development, their upliftment. Today is the era where we should go back and consider what for this Constitution was made, what for this Constitution was made available for this country. Because unless we know what are our rights and what are our duties, we will be failing in becoming appropriate, proper citizen of this country. And the women folk especially, I would say, if they doesn't know their right, what rights they have. In the recent past, I had taken a conference of about 5,000 female members at Vikramgarh, and 3 of my lady associates, they addressed the gathering on 3 different topics, intimating the women folk, containing Adivasi women, containing Kunbi women, containing Muslim community women, as to what are their rights, so as to make them aware that come on, you come forward. Our country has got vast population, And that appears to be a big problem of the country. You know, Ukraine and US war is going on. Russia and Ukraine war is going on, and Ukraine, the country by itself, has suffered. 30% of the country is affected. When you see the pictures on TV, you feel ashamed whether man can behave like this, whether we are really a developed country. How can Russia attack on Ukraine? For what? I have studied the principles of war while I was in government department. To impose one's will on the other is the object of the war. To impose one's will. I impose my will on somebody, and when he is not prepared to accept my will, I ensue war. I attack on him. That is what Russia has been doing. We thought that Russians are progressive countries, developed countries. It doesn't happen so. So we must educate our women particularly. You all are Maharashtrians. Since you are born and brought up in Maharashtra, you are presently sitting in Maharashtra. Mahatma Jyotiba Phule and his wife Savitribai Phule, they were the pioneers of women education in the country. And remember Muslim girls sitting here. One Fatima Bibi, Fatima Sheikh, was the prime associate of Savitribai Phule in that educational affair for the women. They initiated. Otherwise, we would not have got education, and Dr. Tabassum Sheikh is sitting here. She would not have had secured PhD degree. So we should not forget the history of our country. And women upliftment is a need of the time. When I go across, today I saw one film. Our Thana Minister Jitendra Awad had invited me for a movie called Zund, Amitabh Bachchan. Zund, you know. That movie I saw, it was a real picture of our Bharat, Desh. They say that there is an India of 10-15% people, and we all poor people live in Bharat. So there is a great disparity between India and Bharat, and that is what exactly picture was painted in that movie. What we have to take it from the movie is a different thing. Movie is ultimately a movie and entertainment, but the message that was attempted to be given by the director of that movie is that there are many people who are not the part of India. They are away from India because of non-education, no sanitization facilities for them, no toilets, no washroom, no water for bathing, and no other facilities. Because of no education situation, they don't get employment. So my friends, to conclude my speech, I would appeal all women present here to propagate for the education of the women in our country. That is the need of the time. I had been to here in Raigad district in Panvel Taluka along with my senior advocate Mr. Patil, and he said, "Savan, look here, in this village, in each house you will find a teacher." I said, "How come?" He said, "During last 30 years this mission is being deployed, is being followed, that every home will have its own teacher working either in Jilla Parishad school, in private school, say in any other school, municipal school. The teacher educates his family. Not only that, he educates his community, he educates his locality, and thereby everyone gets education. And you will find surprisingly that Twain Taluka, a taluka, small taluka in Raigad district in Konkan, has good literacy rate than any other taluka in Raigad district. This is what it is, the achievement of there being one teacher in every house. So I'll appeal all of you, once you get educated yourself, you can know the law. If you know the law of the country, you can ask others to implement the law. You can exercise your fundamental rights guaranteed by you in the Constitution, and you can take ahead your country to the goal which is to be ultimately achieved by all of us, that India is a developed country. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Advocate Chavan sir, for your address. With immense pleasure, I would now like to introduce before the audience Professor Dr. Abdelaziz Bargoot, who will be giving us the valedictory address. Let me introduce Professor Bargoot to all of you. Sir is the Dean, International Institute of Islamic Thought and Civilization. He also serves as a full professor of Islamic Studies and Civilization in the Kuliya of Islamic Revealed Knowledge and Human Sciences, International Islamic University of Malaysia. Professor Bargoot holds a PhD in Islamic Civilization and History and also in Education. He is a prolific writer with the publication of 11 books and over 70 scholarly articles in indexed and refereed journals. Some of his books, to name a few, are Introduction to Islamic Worldview, Prophetic Methodology and Social Change, Methods of Preaching in a Multi-Religious and Cultural Society. Professor Bargoot is also a research guide and has supervised over 80 master's and PhD theses. Sir is also on the editorial board as editor-in-chief and editor of many academic journals. Professor Bargoot writes extensively on diverse topics such as Islamic worldview, social change, culture and education, to name a few. Professor Bargoot, being such a notable and illustrious personality, has also received many awards such as Malaysia and Exemplary Murabi KIR KHS in 2021, the Jewels of the Muslim World International Award in 2019, Best Scientific Book Award in 2019, Best Scholar and Contributor to Development of the Islamic World in 2019. Professor Bargoot's biography has also been included in the Marcus Who's Who in the World 22nd edition and 2,000 Outstanding Intellectuals of the 21st Century by the Biographical Center, Cambridge in 2005. It is an honor for us to have such a brilliant and erudite scholar like Professor Bargoot, and I invite him to share his valedictory address.
Assalamu alaikum. Good evening. Do you hear me here? Hello?
You're audible, sir. You're audible.
Okay. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Peace to everyone. First of all, let me thank Prof. Mazari for the invitation and thank all the organizing committee and the institutions which involved in the organization of these 2 days very important and timely conference. I have been following the lectures for the last 2 days, especially those in English. I was really overwhelmed with the depth and the level of the presentations and the lectures of all the speakers. This is really something great, and I think you choose a very important topic, talking about interreligious dialogue and understanding for peace and for harmony. I think that's what we really need, not only now, but also for the future of humanity. I really congratulate Prof. Mazari and all the institutions and all the presenters in India and the region, and also the scholars and the participants and researchers who came or who participated from other parts of the world. I think you have proved to us beyond any doubt that there is no future for humanity without coexistence, without cooperation, without understanding, respect, acceptance, and cooperating with each other for the sake of human communities and human civilization at large. You have also proved in your lectures and presentations that all the religions of the world, including Islam, Buddhism, Hinduism, Christianity, and all other religions, they have a space and room for humanity, for peace, for respect, for understanding, for collaboration, for cooperation. So this conference is another witness, another evidence of the need for inter-religious understanding, the need not only for understanding, but for working together for a larger and bigger mission, not only for our own communities, but for humanity, for the world, for the environment, for nature, for every and each human living in this world, for every and each creature living in this world. We are all. It's an obligation on us, on our shoulder, to help and work together to achieve this. You have also proved through your research, whether by our Muslim scholars and researchers or non-Muslim scholars and researchers, I heard a lot of wonderful lectures from our non-Muslim scholars, and they are almost everyone look like agreeing about a common ground that can bring us all together for the sake of mankind, civilization, for the sake of nature, environment, and this Mother Earth. Brothers and sisters, dear professors, doctors, and all the participants, we have heard all this, and all religions are providing this. And also, from the other side, we should acknowledge that also in our religions, in our communities, in our societies, there are extreme voices. There are those voices which talk about like Islamophobia, talk about belittling some other religions or other people or other ethnic groups. This is the extreme voice that we need also to address and deal with, because building peace in society is not an easy task. It takes years and years and a lot of collective efforts to reach this level of interfaith stability, of interreligious stability, of interreligious cooperation and understanding. It takes years and years to reach a level where you have peaceful existence. So we need to maintain that. We need to protect that. We need to continue this cause and showing the role of religion and the function of religion and spirituality and ethics and values in enhancing this peaceful coexistence. It's not something that you can buy from the market. It's something that created by a social contract, by all the religions, all the races, all the people, all the government, the civil society, the public sector, the private sector, the education, the scientists, the economy, everybody contributes to this. So we need to keep this harmony and this peace. And religion ought to do a great job, not only today, but in the future of humanity. Brothers and sisters, as you see today, we are facing a lot of problems in the world, including the war which is happening in Russia, Ukraine, in the Middle East, in many parts of the world. The more you have these kind of things and this kind of chaos, the more you need religion, you need wisdom, you need understanding, you need tolerance. You need to teach your people and your community and your society that in the 21st century, we cannot live and continue with this. The nature of the 21st century, where artificial intelligence, augmented reality, where sophisticated technology and science is dominating over our life, you cannot survive in the future without wisdom, without ethics, without spirituality, without love, without understanding, without mercy, without helping one another, without caring and serving, without spiritual intelligence, without cultural intelligence, without emotional intelligence, without ethical and moral intelligence. The more you advance in technology and science, the more we create acts of that can lead to chaos and negativity in the society. You see what's happening in the environment, what's happening in many communities, where we talk about sustainable development, where there is poverty, where there is hunger, where there is global warming, where there is all this. Religion and spirituality and values ought to play a greater role. Brothers and sisters, it's very important, and I was very glad following these 2 days, and I see a rich well of ideas and views given by scholars of all the people, Muslim and non-Muslim. In fact, I want just to summarize and tell you about the importance of 5 things, brothers and sisters, that we will all need, Muslim and non-Muslim, those who love peace, love humanity, love civilization, love environment, love nature. Those who love these words, they need to focus on many things, among which I'm going to mention 5 of them. Number 1, and many of you mentioned it, especially our brothers who spoke from an Islamic perspective. Brothers and sisters, we cannot establish world peace without establishing the dignity of every and each human in this world. The Holy Quran says, God says in the Quran, we have created you from a single pair of male and female and made you into nations and tribes, Indian, Arabs, American, Chinese, Buddhist, Russian, nations and tribes. You may know one another, not kill one another, not colonize one another, not destroy one another, but you may know one another. The most honored of you in the sight of God is not the rich one, is not the powerful one, is not the beautiful one, but is the pious one, is the one who does good for himself and for others. God says in the Holy Quran also, Inna karramna bani Adam. We have honored the people of Adam. The people or the children of Adam is you and me and every one of us. We are all honored by nature, by creation of God, by being servant and vicegerent of God, no difference between black and white or rich and poor, all are the same. So brothers and sisters, this is something very important which I gathered from your talks, from your lectures. Number two, it is very important to understand that creating peace or having understanding, interfaith understanding or having harmony is not for itself, is for humanity, for people, for environment, for society. We have this peace and harmony. Why? Because we wanted to have a larger objective, a larger mission, which is populating the world, which is building balanced human civilization. Balanced human civilization where all people of all nations and races can find shelter, can find a place, can find a hope, brothers and sisters. Number three, it's very important also to understand that peace or harmony and all these things, they need justice. They need human justice. When you are just in yourself, in your family, in your society, in your work, in your government, then you will see the fruits of peace in life. That's why, brothers and sisters, many of you talk about justice. Justice is very important. And that's why, when I look from an Islamic perspective, one of the objectives why the religion was sent is to restore justice, is to protect the religion, is to protect the wealth of people, is to protect the lives of people, is to protect the intellect, the mind. So brothers and sisters, number four, it is very important for us to maintain this peace and harmony which we have, to use the educational institutions, the cultural institutions, the religious institutions, to use them as platforms and means of building the culture of peace, of building the culture of harmony, of building the mindsets that they can live together, that they can work together. Number five, brothers and sisters, I want to refer to the last sermon of the Prophet Muhammad. Maybe Allah be pleased with him. In his last sermon, before his death, he was addressing the people. I will stop. He was addressing the people, and he was saying he did not talk to Arabs or to Muslims or to his own people. He was saying, "Oh, you people, oh, you humanity, oh, you believers in the world, please stop bloodshed, please stop corruption, please stop all these activities and actions that create chaos and trouble." Brothers and sisters, with this conclusion and summary, I would like to thank you all. I'd like to thank Professor Mazari for all this, and his team and all the institution for this great work. I hope you publish this work, and we continue, and maybe next time you do it here in Kuala Lumpur in the International Institute of Islamic Thought and Civilization. We welcome you all, Muslims and non-Muslims. May God bless you all. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Thank you, Professor Abdul Aziz Bargaut, for valedictory address. It's my privilege to introduce Dr. A.K. Merchant. Sir is the National Trustee cum Secretary of Lotus Temple and Baha'is Community of India, and also the General Secretary of the Temple of Understanding India. Sir is the National Trustee of Sarvodaya International Trust and Associate Secretary of General Global Warming Reduction Center, New Delhi. Dr. Merchant also works as a visiting faculty, Center for Cultural Resources and Training, Ministry of Culture, Government of India. Sir is a subject expert for research scholar enrolled for interfaith education and Indian culture of the Jawaharlal Nehru Memorial Fund, Honorary Director, Measles, MK Aromatic Limited, Chennai. Dr. Merchant is the author of more than 200 articles and research papers and 3 monographs. He is an active promoter of gender justice and has spoken on numerous occasions for the implementation of Beijing Platform for Action. He is also a resource person for the promotion on discourses of science, world peace, religion and development. Sir, we are honored to have you amongst us, and it's my sincere request to give special remarks.
Yes. Yeah, thank you very much indeed. I'm very grateful to the Institute of Objective Studies, the organizers, the GM Momin College, the many distinguished scholars, learned speakers, participants, and all those who have been working very hard to make this two-day international conference a truly memorable and successful event. And as I was listening to some of the distinguished speakers, I could not participate the full each of the 2 days, but different sections of the conference, I did gather a sense of the flow of the kind of brilliance, scholarship, and the importance of the role of religion. Particularly, you know, religion has come a long way as a result of the many interfaith activities. And if you take 1893, the Chicago World Conference as a landmark, then over the past more than 120 odd years, now it's of course more than 128 years, from 1893 onwards, there have been thousands upon thousands of conferences to promote interreligious understanding, harmony, and lot of documents also have emerged. For instance, the Golden Rule. You know, in the centenary 1993 conference in Chicago, the main document was the Golden Rule. In the 1999 conference in Cape Town, it was a call to our guiding institutions. In the 2004 conference in Barcelona, it was a focus on environment, because as part of the Millennium Development Goals, water was taken to be a very important aspect. And then after 2004, in 2009, there was a conference in Melbourne. Each of these conferences, they tried to, you know, stir the human hearts. After Melbourne, in Salt Lake City in 2015. And then after 2015, there was a conference in Toronto in 2018. And this year, there was a virtual conference. And all of these conferences have got brilliant ideas, themes. So we can see the interdependence. As we just heard our distinguished Professor Abdul Aziz from Malaysia, he talked at great length that how today there has been a profound, you know, evolution in the world of interreligious understanding. And yet, the world still continues to get embroiled with violence, misunderstanding and conflicts, which is a very sad thing, because every religion has taught us that the purpose of religion is to bring hearts together, to promote unity, to promote spirituality, and to ensure that the human family can live in peace and harmony. Unfortunately, due to the distortions that also have happened with respect to religious understanding and the religious texts by sections of the population who claimed that they have a superior understanding of the scriptures, what happened was, because of that, science has sort of displaced religion from the everyday life. So in many of the developed countries, you see that the scientific inquiry and the power of reason has almost displaced the value of religious systems. But through the parliaments of world religions, through the United Nations initiative, friends, you know that for a long time, United Nations never talked about religion or spirituality. But today, they acknowledge it. Recently, I was at the United Nations Environment Summit, which had to do with the role of religious leaders in promoting the challenges and addressing the challenges of climate emergency, the climate change crisis. And every year, the first week of February is observed as the United Nations Interfaith Harmony Week. On the 5th of April, they acknowledge the principle of the Golden Rule. On the 16th of November, they have the International Day of Tolerance. So we can see that religion as a social force, as well as a spiritual, I would say, energy that can transform human hearts, has a very important place in our society. And when the knowledge of religion in its proper sense is internalized, free from superstitions and prejudices, then it can complement the other system of knowledge called science. It is science that gives us our technology, all the inventions, all the comforts that we enjoy in our life today is the gift from the world of science. So as a member of the Temple of Understanding, which promotes interfaith understanding, and also as a member of the Baha'i community, I believe that we must not lose hope. Humanity can still move forward with a spirit of collective unity, ensuring the security and peace everywhere on this planet by harnessing the forces of religion and spirituality on the one hand, science and technology on the other hand. Finally, I would like to also bring in the aspect of education. I also heard in the concluding remarks by Professor Abdul Aziz. You know, for education, UNESCO has given us a wonderful curriculum for the 21st century. It is titled Learning the Treasure Within, and it is anchored upon 4 pillars. The first pillar of learning is learning to know. Today we are immersed, in a world of data and information. So when this data and information turns into knowledge, then it becomes a valuable source for our life. So learning to know is the first pillar. Learning to do is the second pillar. Everybody requires certain skills, even to operate technological devices. For instance, right now we are communicating through the internet and the Zoom link. So learning to do has to do with skills. The third important pillar is learning to live together. So friends, during the last 2 days, the many sessions and the wonderful young scholars as well as many senior scholars who addressed us, they emphasize the need for how humanity can live together. If this planet has to survive, then it has to have a future, and that future is in the harmonizing of all the diverse populations on this planet. So learning to live together is the third pillar. And the fourth pillar is learning to be. I acknowledge that every individual has the freedom to connect with the divine, to connect with Allah, to connect with the Ishwar, to Bhagwan, to God in their own unique ways. And they must have the freedom to do it as per their own belief systems. Because no human being is born without a value system. So my respected and distinguished friends, this conference has been a very valuable journey, and all the organizers must be given due credit for the very successful way they have conducted and ensured that all of the presenters were given the time to make the presentations. And let's again beseech Almighty God that He will give us the wisdom, He will give us the courage, and He will give us, He will show us how to walk the right path, the straight path, the Sirat al-Mustaqim. Because the concept of the straight path is there in all the religions. But today, when there is so much of diversity, we must know that there is an underlying principle of unity. And when that is also
Dear
kept
Mr.
in mind-
Merchant,
Yes, thank you.
your request please, okay. Now
Yes.
we want to
I
conclude.
will conclude with this.
Okay, thank you
importance of
so
education.
much. Give him a big clap. Thank you. Great, great, great. Very good. That was a very good intervention. We liked it. Thank you so much. Now I would like to invite
I'm sorry,
Professor
I didn't
Hasina
mention the name of all the
Hashia to
friends.
kindly
Yeah.
present the resolutions to be passed in this conference. Professor Hashia.
Just 1/2 minute. I did not mention the name of all my good friends, Dr. Manzoor Alam Saab, Dr. G.M. Momin, Dr.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Dr. Afzal Ghani.
Dignitaries
Sahab, and all
on the
friends.
dais
Thank you.
and off the dais, and those dignitaries who have joined us through the virtual mode. Assalamu alaikum and very, very good evening. It is a matter of great satisfaction that the two-day international conference on the topic need of inter-religious understanding for promoting peace and harmony, organized by Institute of Objective Studies, New Delhi, in collaboration with GM Momin Women's College, held on March 19 to 2022 at Bhiwandi, in the district of Thane, in the state of Maharashtra, concluded very successfully. Now we are going to adopt a resolution. Resolution is based on 6 points. I will read one by one. You please give us your consent. The conference unanimously adopted the following resolutions. Number 1, the international bodies, institutions and national governments are urged upon to take a serious view of the ground situation and take necessary measures to promote peace and harmony in the world. Number 2, efforts should be made to dispel doubts among the religious communities about one another, which are prominently spoiling the environment of peace and harmony in different parts of the world. Number 3, the academic bodies, voluntary organizations at international, national and local levels should carry out educational initiatives to develop fair understanding of religions for pertaining their real objectives of establishing a peaceful world. Number 4, there should be regular programs on inter-religious understanding at various places in India and Maharashtra to be organized jointly by the Institute of Objective Studies and GM Momin Women's College, Bhiwandi, and other interested organizations. Number 5, the relevant authorities should strive to include a special course in their educational curricula to teach common core values of harmony, peace and dialogue among Indian religions. Number 6, at local level, GM Momin College, Bhiwandi, RJ College of Arts and Commerce, Mumbai, St. Xavier's College, Mumbai, and Jai Hind College, Mumbai should form a core group to carry on regular programs on inter-religious dialogue in collaboration with the Institute of Objective Studies. Religious scholars and community leaders of all the communities should be invited to these programs.
Yeah, my suggestion is where we talk of the role of the government. We have talked about the educational system in that particular thing. The government should build mechanisms, vehicles and facilities that enable mutual trust among communities of all denominations and cultures.
Any other intervention? Any other correction? Thank you. Thank you, sir. Shall we adopt this now with the modification? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
Thank you, Professor Hashia, for reading out the resolutions. May I now invite Professor Afzal Wani, sir, Chairman, Institute of Objective Studies, New Delhi, to deliver the presidential address.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Honorable members of the conference on the dais, Suhail Saab, Nasir Saab, Tabassum Ji, Advocate Gajanan Chauhan, Professor Conrad, Professor Hashia, Professor Marazi, Professor Abdul Aziz, Professor Valmiki, and A.K. Merchant, other friends, and dear students. As this good program that has to be brought to its conclusion, so I'll take few minutes. I know you are tired, but this time I was not received by him with some couplet, so I would myself give a couplet to myself. अंदाज़े बयां गर्च बहुत शौक नहीं है, शायद कि तेरे दिल में उतर जाए मेरी बात. So first I would say I'd appreciate what Chavan Saab said, that we the people of India, it does not mean the men of the people of India, it does not mean the women of the India, it does not mean this religion, that religion and that religion. Chavan Saab, it was 45 years before the adoption of this preamble. There was one Dr. Sir Muhammad Iqbal. He said somewhere, हम बुलबुले हैं इसकी, हम बुलबुले हैं इसकी, ये गुलसिता हमारा, सारे जहां से अच्छा हिंदुस्तान हमारा. Bulbule is we the people of India. That is a visionary, he said 45 years before, that we the people of India, we have to do it. And we have to do it now, we had to do it then. And that's how we have to give a place to another human being. That's where from the jurisprudence develops. That's why the law is there. That's why the concept of the state is there. That is why the concept of the society is there. I am closer to this podium than to you, Chavan Saab. But when I shall leave this podium will not feel that Professor Wani left. But that person sitting at the back will feel I have left. What is the relationship between me and this podium and the relationship between me and that person in the audience? This is social relationship. This is social feeling. This is social sensitivity. This is social consideration. This is humanity. This is being a person. And that's how these programs we are having, so that we create certain kinds of positive vibrations, positive feelings. And it is those positive feelings, these are expressed by different academicians, speakers, thinkers, in different sets of words, in different sets of ideas, in different sets of experiences, in different sets of observations. But the thing is the same, that I am human, you are human. We belong to this whole world, to whole universe. This belongs to all of us. And our task is that how we can accommodate ourselves. We have to show that degree of humanity, that level we have to show. For that every knowledge is there. For that every kind of thinking, education is there. If that fails in it, then definitely you have failed in attaining the objective. So you have to give meaning to life. You have to give understanding to yourself. And what must appreciate you? Please believe it or not, if you have this time someone as the president of the biggest power in the world or another powerful country in the world, after another 200 years, their name will be only in footnotes somewhere in the world history. It may be. And it's not going to survive. What is going to survive is whether you have attained that kind of honest level of humanity for yourself that is appreciable before God, before Creator, or in front of your conscience, or in front of your nation. And I think all these religions are to make a person appreciate this thing. I'll give the example of Baba Sahib Ambedkar. How much he did suffer. You must sometime visit this Baroda, and then you must sit under that tree in which he wept when he was, he had not then gone to Chicago for his PhD and all other things. And then the king of Baroda, he did support him in this way and that way. You must see there. And when he had suffered a lot, then only he could confront various multiple kinds of forces. Then he could bring a consensus and balance. Then he could motivate the people to accept this constitution which is given to you, and that made possible the concepts of fraternity, liberty, democracy, and other things. So we have to look to all these things, and religion should be to support to it. Religion is not that you will create another group. Religion is to appreciate and then imbibe, then give strength to yourself, and then with firmness you have to put forward the opinion of the superiority of humanity, dignity of humanity, integrity of humanity, fraternity. So you have to derive from religion the strength to do it, not you have to divide the people for religion. Religion in itself, I must say, nobody should take it otherwise. Religion itself is not the goal. Religion is to attain a goal. Religion is to attain. The constitution is not the goal in itself. It is to attain a goal. It is to attain the values. And that's how I would say that please appreciate that superior goal. And that's how we should say that at this moment of time, in Kupwara, Kashmir, if a girl of 15 years, 16 years, 17 years starts a journey alone to Kanyakumari, irrespective of her being a Hindu, Muslim, Christian, Bodh, Sikh, Zoroastrian or any, must very safely visit Kanyakumari alone. That must be the thing. No, that is a challenge in front of you. Don't tell me we are this big economic power. Don't tell me we are a nuclear power. No. Do you have the moral power also? Do you have the ethical power also? And therefore anybody must feel safe, sound and secure. And then there is a challenge before you that 4 to 5% children of this country are abandoned. They are without parents. Please ensure that they sleep with 2 meals a day and they are not starving and sleeping. Please ensure that after every 20 seconds a rape is taking place in this country. Please let us have a rapeless nation, and why don't you go for that? And how many people are otherwise with illiterates, they are not having this education. This is a challenge before you. The challenge is not that whether you are in the name of your religion, you are committing excesses. That's not the challenge. That's rather you are going to a wrong side of it. The religion says, when I go to Lord Ram, then I find that for power, he did not adhere himself to the power. He opted to go to Banbas. He brought a reconciliation. He did not insist on it. He could have told his father, no, I don't want to go. But he left the power, he went there. That means you cannot use him for power. In the same way, I always say Lord Buddha, he did not adhere to power. He did not adhere to Maharajaship or kingship. He went into the society and worked for the society and gave a vision to the society. So religion is for bringing amicability, truthfulness to the society. rather than you are getting using the religion for power. No, it's not that kind of thing. So dear friends, I would like to emphasize at the moment that whatever say, I say only with this spirit, that you will be successful with religion and with state and with society only when you get to its real understanding that these all things are for humanity. They are for better social relationships. They are for better economic systems. They are for truthful political systems. In politics, it's not I must get the power. It is that I must perform the best. That is the politics. Politics is the science of use of power, not merely the attaining the power. And are you really capable of bringing justice to the people? Then I would say you are on the right path. So, dear friends, these all things have to be understood, and that in that context, see Jesus, Moses, David, then in this country, others, I talk with many, and that's how you can have the best concepts. But I cannot stop saying that GM Momin had done something great. He had done something great that today we talk about him. This platform is because of that name. He might not have been knowing then that some Professor Wani will travel 2,000 kilometers and then talk about him here. This is sincerity. This is sincerity. I tell to my students, जब आप वॉशरूम में जाएंगे, अगर नल से पानी निकल रहा है तो आप उसको बंद कर देना. अगर कोई नहीं देखता, कोई तारीफ नहीं करेगा, लेकिन इस कंट्री का भी कोई खुदा तो है, वो जरूर देख रहा होगा और आपको उसका रिवार्ड जरूर मिलेगा. So the question is, अब इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ ऑब्जेक्टिव स्टडीज, हमने कहा हमारी किताब छप जाएगी जो है 36 साल पहले, 36 years before, लेकिन हमें ये मालूम नहीं था कि कितना सफ़र हम साथ करेंगे. और आज के दिन में ये बातें बताऊंगा जो मुझे कहनी चाहिए. और अगर जो है ना, कभी कभी हम नातिया कलाम में भी कहते हैं कि मेरी बात बन गई है तेरी बात करते करते. तो हम उस परफॉर्मर के जो मदीना में, मक्का में जिसमें परफॉर्म किया, उस जमाने के लोग ये कहते थे कि इनका नाम 2 दिन के बाद कौन लेगा. ये तो पता नहीं, नौज़बिल्लाह मिन ज़ालिक. अब 1450 साल के बाद आज के इस वर्ल्ड पे रहने वाले 1.7 बिलियन पीपल, उन पर अपनी जान निछावर करने वाले. आप देख लीजिए क्या है ये सिंसेरिटी है, ये सिंसेरिटी. और जिस दिन लॉर्ड बुद्धा ने पैलेस छोड़ा होगा, उन्होंने ये नहीं सोचा होगा कि कितनी सदियों के बाद हमारा नाम लिया जाएगा. ये मालूम नहीं होगा. ये सिंसेरिटी की बात है. और आज जो है निसार साहब, सुहेल साहब इस पौधे की परवरिश कर रहे हैं. इससे कितने लोगों को छाँव मिलेंगे, कितने लोगों को साया मिलेगा. और जो अलीगढ़ की लैंग्वेज में यहाँ से अबर उठेगा, वो कितने चमनों पे बरसेगा, कहाँ हरियाली लाएगा. किसको? सिंसेरिटी की है, बस सिंसेरिटी की है, और आपको सब कुछ मिलेगा. मेरे ख्याल में वैसे तो एक एल्डर के यही कहना चाहे, फिलॉसफी तो बहुत ज़रूरी है. और फिलॉसफी जो है, एक फिलॉसफी से एक कुव्वत मांगनी चाहिए. वो ये है कि मुझ में ये कुव्वत हो कि बहुत सारे ख्यालात हैं, एक ख्याल नहीं है. फिलॉसफी का ये है, उसमें अजम्पशंस बहुत हैं, लेकिन मुझसे वही वाला कहलवा दीजिए जो लोगों में अच्छाई पैदा करे. ये नहीं है कि मैं कुछ भी नहीं, मेरे रब मुझसे वो कहलवा दीजिए. और जैसे एक कश्मीरी पोइट ने कहा है कि जिस बात से लोगों में मोहब्बत पैदा हो जाए, ऐ अल्लाह मुझे वही बातें कहलवाना सिखला दो. ये महजूर ने कहा है, बस मुझे वो बातें कहलवाना सिखला दो जिससे लोगों में मोहब्बत पैदा हो जाएगी, और जिससे नफरत दूर हो. दूर यमसे नफरत तीवातम में चैनी वक्त में असली छाव. ओह गॉड, शो मी द राइट पाथ एंड देन teach me to say only those things by which hatred will be away. Hatred will be away. And that's how I would say, I think That is the best of it. And then Dr. Manzoor Alam Sahab, we are grateful to him for all the efforts he has done in the last 36 years. And today we are finding a good fruit of it. And I am grateful to all of you for your patience. And अब इस वक्त इतना ही मन नहीं करता है रुकना, लेकिन मन को इजाज़त भी नहीं देना है कि ज़्यादा बोलना, क्योंकि काजी साहब हमारे एक बहुत बड़े प्रोफेसर थे, वो बहुत बोलते थे, लेकिन एक दिन हमें उनके सामने कोई बात नहीं करता था, लेकिन एक दिन हमें उन्हें कहना पड़ा कि अगर आप हयात भी ज़्यादा पिएंगे तो पेट फटने का खतरा है। तो हम जो है इसी बात पे हम इख्तिताम करते हैं। वाखिरु दावाना अनिल हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन।
Wow, Jazakallah sir, Alhamdulillah. What a wonderful address it was. And I would try to sum up his address in one couplet of Javed Akhtar. चमन में इख्तिलाफ और रंगो बू से बात बनती है, चमन में इख्तिलाफ और रंगो बू से बात बनती है, हम ही हम है तो क्या हम है, तुम ही तो क्या तुम हो। I'm indeed honored that we have a dynamic personality in our midst, Mr. Sohail Mushtaq Faqih sir, Honorary General Secretary, Konkan Muslim Education Society. May I request Mr. Sohail Faqih sir to kindly please address the august gathering. I invite him with this couplet. मेरे जिंदगी का मकसद के सभी को फैज़ पहुँचे, मैं चरागे रह गुजर हूँ, मुझे शौक से जलाओ। Mr. Sohail Mushtaq Faqih.
Good evening. Assalamu alaikum, namaste, sat sri akal ji. Dear Manzoor Alam Sahab, who is in Delhi, but the real force behind IOS, person who dreamed something in 1987, which fruit we are seeing today, something that is so we are cultivating it today. And Mr. Hamidullah Marazi, Afzal Wani Sahab, Madam Hasina is the name of my mother, and yes, and Mr. Chauhan Sahab, Father Professor Konar, and Tabassum Sheikh, Nisar Sheikh Sahab, and dignitaries and guests here, and students. To me, I'll speak from my heart. Maybe you find it a little abstract, or maybe you find it little not so relevant to the topic. But I will start with like celestial skies, the deep oceans, the widespread deserts, all things we human beings, you know, they searched it. They went there in the stars, when they saw stars, and they studied that. When they saw the deep seas, and they jump into that, they found many a new world, or deserts, what oil is hidden there, many things like that. Matlab, human beings, they strive to find the truth, and they found which was very useful to them. Same way, iOS also. When I realized what is the strength of iOS, the same thing came to my mind. It is something which was not known to me. And when it became a reality to me, I found how beautiful. What an idea, what is a philosophy, you know. And I'm really thankful to all gentlemen from iOS who really came to Mumbai, to Bhiwandi, to our college, and gave us a chance to see the hidden treasures in that, in terms of education especially. Same way, the participants here, whether they were the reader of what you call paper presenters, and also scholars, and many great eminent philosophers like Chauhan Sahab and fathers, they really, and the students also, they really widened my knowledge, and I'm thankful to them. Okay, it was really wonderful to know their thoughts and their philosophy and what they find, how peaceful the world can be. So their contribution is really extremely important and vital. Same way, I think I have studied algebra, I have studied physics, I have studied chemistry, what not I have studied. But I think the mother of all sciences is philosophy. And philosophy, if you really learn or you study philosophy, so you really know the truth, and that is something that creates all sciences. This is my take. And that is the reason why Plato and Aristotle were hired by the kings to teach their children the education, to educate them. And so we are very lucky to have Professor Tabassum Sheikh, who is the head of philosophy department. And this whole conference is the brainchild of her, philosophical thoughts. Same way, the MOU which we are going to sign with IOS is really something that will open many doors to us. And secondly, but not least, and last but not least, let me tell you that we want to, what I have learned from IOS is that we must create human beings. We mustn't create only doctors or only scientists or only scholars. We must create somebody who are more human, who use their wisdom, who have compassion, who are caring for the human race to come. So that way I end my speech, and thank you so much for.
Thank you, Mr. Sohail Faqi, sir. Friends, I'm reminded of a very beautiful bhajan, and I would like to share just 4 lines with all of you. This bhajan was actually composed by a spiritual guru of the Kanchi Kamakoti Mutt in Kanchipuram, Tamil Nadu. And his name was His Holiness Shri Chandrasekharendra Saraswati. And it was very beautifully recited by the doyen of Carnatic music, that is M.S. Subbalakshmi. I would just like to recite just 4 lines, and it very succinctly and very beautifully harmonizes our theme today. It goes like this: Maitrim bhajata akhila jitrim atmavat evam paran api pashyata yudhyam tyajata spardham tyajata pareshva akramanam janani prithvi kamat gustate janaka o deva sakhala dayalu damyata datta dayatvam janata shreyo bhuyat sakhala jananam. The translation: with please serve and conquer all the hearts. Please think that others are like you. Please forsake competition forever. Please forsake force to get someone else's property. For Mother Earth is a wish-giving animal, and God our Father is most merciful. Restrain, donate, and be kind to all the people of this world. So this is something that all of us have been deliberating in the past 2 days. We have in our midst Ms. Bernadette Pimenta ma'am, founder of Sevadham NGO, and who's also accompanied by Mr. John. Now, Ms. Pimenta ma'am has always been a part and parcel of our institution, be it any program that we do, especially related to women empowerment or with social issues or with communal harmony. Ma'am has always been an integral part of our institution. And so I would like to invite Mr. Sohail Faqi sir, Dr. Nisar Ahmed Sheikh sir, and also Tabassum ma'am to please felicitate Ms. Pimenta ma'am and Mr. John sir. I would like to invite Dr. Vaishali Nirmalkar ma'am.
Thank you, Savita ma'am. Before starting, I would like to tell Vani sir that sir, कल आपका मैंने जो सुना एड्रेस, इतना प्रभावित थी मैं कल कि today morning when I woke up, I wrote a couplet for you. एंड इत्तेफाक से आपने बोला कि आज मेरे लिए कोई कपलेट नहीं बोला गया. सो सर आपकी इजाज़त है तो मैं बोलूं आपके लिए. सर, हम काम से जाने जाते हैं नाम से नहीं, हम काम से जाने जाते हैं नाम से नहीं, गर्दिश में सितारा बन के चमकेंगे, किसी की तारीफ के मोहताज नहीं. सर खास आपके लिए मैंने लिखा था. नाउ मूविंग फॉरवर्ड, सर आप सब लोग यहाँ पे आए हैं, कश्मीर से काफ़ी लोग आए हैं, दिल्ली से भी आए हैं, तो हमारे बच्चों का हुनर दिखाए बगैर हम आपको कैसे जाने दें. तो जस्ट 5 मिनट्स के लिए हमारे बच्चे आपके सामने पेश करना चाहते हैं पोवाड़ा. पोवाड़ा ये यहाँ पे महाराष्ट्र के लोगों को मालूम है, बट जो अदर स्टेट से आए हैं उनको नहीं मालूम है, तो थोड़ा सा ब्रीफ करना चाहूँगी. और जब तक कि मैं ब्रीफ करती हूँ, आई रिक्वेस्ट पोवाड़ा गर्ल्स टू प्लीज टेक देयर पोजीशन. सो सर, पोवाड़ा इज अ टाइप ऑफ folk songs in Maharashtra. It is, yeah, I also request the camera to be focused on them, and if possible mic अगर आप दे सकते हैं. So sir, it is one of the folk songs in Maharashtra, and it is presented to showcase the dignity, valor of a great person or a warrior like Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, or any act or any theme or any concept which a common man could easily understand. This year, for the first time, the Department of Lifelong Learning and Extension of University of Mumbai had organized Povada competition, and our students, I feel proud to say that our students, the Muslim community girls, have bagged the first prize in Povada. They received a lot of appreciation from the judges who had judged them, and they had competed with the very big colleges of Mumbai region. This is very much apt to the theme of this conference, that is interreligious peace and harmony. So here, जैसे वानी सर ने कल कहा था कि youngsters, these girls have to shoulder the peace and harmony. आपको shoulder करना है. So this is what is we want to show, that these girls will definitely make you proud. I am sure, sir, that you will remember forever that something like Povada we saw in GM Momin College. Your journey would indeed become memorable. This Povada depicts the Constitution of India. जैसे आज चौहान साहब ने कहा, जो चौहान साहब ने यहाँ पे बोला है, सब पोवाड़ा में आपको दिखेगा सर, चौहान सर. So it is depicting the Constitution of India, which is written by Honorable Baba Saheb Dr. Bhim Rao Ambedkar. It depicts the respect and rights given to the women of India, the woman empowerment. It also mentions the name of respected Sindhu Tai Sapkar, who is known as the mother of orphans, and name of respected Savitri Bai Phule, who strived hard for the women education. Sir, Povada is always in Marathi, but here we have tried to present it in an innovative way, using different dialects depicting interreligious peace and harmony. सर, मैं यहाँ पे आपको बताना चाहूँगी कि पोवाड़ा हमेशा मराठी में होता है. तो half of this पोवाड़ा we have taken from net, but half of the पोवाड़ा I have written and one of the students have written. So सर, मैं आप सबसे गुजारिश करूँगी कि आप सुने. Thank you so much. संभाला सिंधुताई झाली अभ्यांची माय सिंधुताई झाली अभ्यांची माय सिंधुताई झाली अभ्यांची माय। हक है उसको बोलने का, हक है उसको अपनी लड़ाई लड़ने का, हक है नारी को भी आजादी से जीने का, हक है उसको शिक्षा प्राप्त करने का। सावित्री बाई ने केली शुरुआत सावित्री बाई ने केली शुरुआत सावित्री बाई ने केली शुरुआत परमपूज्य सावित्रीबाई फुलेंचा पुण्यदिन आज, जाता जाता आम्ही मुलींना दिले शिक्षणाचे साज। सावित्रीबाई ने केली सुरुवात सावित्रीबाई ने केली शुरुआत यही है हमारा संविधान यही है हमारा संविधान एक समान है सब इंसान एक समान है सब इंसान झाली सबला ही आजची नारी वाजला टंक तुझा चौबार सिंधुताई झाली अभ्यांची माय सावित्रीबाईने केली सुरुवात
Thank you, girls, and that was a very riveting performance. I now invite Dr. Tabassum Sheikh, ma'am, coordinator of this two-day international conference, to propose the formal vote of thanks.
Shuru. Assalamu alaikum and a very good evening to one and all. The last phase of our program, the formal vote of thanks. Indeed, it's a thank you, a big thank you to Institute of Objective Studies for collaborating with us, especially our friend Marazi sir, Professor Hamidullah Marazi, who had taken the initiative of this collaboration, and today we find ourselves really enriched with this collaboration. We also thank the chairperson of Institute of Objective Studies, Dr. Muhammad Manzoor Alam sir, the vice chairman, Professor M. Afzal Wani, Dr. Hasina Hashia, and I would like to, my heartfelt thanks to Mr. Ataur Rahman Sahab, because all the time we were in contact, all the time we were in messaging about the very nitty-gritty, the smaller things, the minute things, the macro level, the micro level. And it was so nice, you know, collaborating with them and talking to them, that never at any point of time I felt any kind of an ego clash. Okay, yes, what we are doing and what you are doing, whatever we were saying, they were they were consenting to it. Whatever they were saying, we were consenting to it. And I felt at that point of time only we started the harmonic collaboration. I never felt any point of time, no, this is not up to the mark, or because the way we were talking and collaborating and negotiating of everything, discussing everything, not even negotiating I can say, but discussing everything, it was so very nice, so very good, so very amicable I can say, that this is how we have to collaborate, and this is how I feel we should go for collaborations. It was like when they came here also, we felt like they were our own people who have come to our college, and at every point of time they were supporting us, backing us, motivating us for the program. So we felt like we are sister and they are our elder brothers who have come up to support us. Thank you so much. I thank the entire team of Institute of Objective Studies. Then our management, who has always, like the previous management also always gave us a free hand in most of the programs. This management, it's a new management which has completed 1 year, but mind you, even they have given us the dynamism, the freedom of doing many things. This management has also what is called as not only given the freedom, but they look into the minute day-to-day, okay, what are we doing, what are we progressing, how are we progressing, okay, with the program. And not only that, even the what is called as the academic side also, when a management takes interest, it makes a lot of difference, Let me tell you that. We can never always label the management as interfering. Never at a point we felt that they are interfering. They had always given us a free hand. But even for this program, when the management gives us a free hand, mind you, it is mind-blowing. That freedom which we experienced, okay, was very unique, and at such a high level, because of the new management, we could collaborate. I thank for this our President, Mr. Talha Faqi sir, our Secretary, Mr. Sohail Faqi, who has always looked into the details of how we are doing this collaboration, the Vice President, the Treasurer. I also thank for today, the other what is called as management members who had come here, Mr. Almaz Faqi, Uzair Faqi, Nazim Nasikar, who have taken interest in our programs. Our sponsors who had very kindly contributed for this international conference, Mr. Anil Shah, Sohail Qazi, Mr. Asra, Dr. Asra Momin, M. Hassan Momin, Anil Jain, Mr. Asad Faqi, Mr. Tanveer Farid, Iqbal Punjabi, and Mr. Mufazzal. Thank you so much for your contributions that we could conduct this in a very good and smooth manner. Our principal, Dr. Nisar, left everything, best of that, that kind of freedom I experienced from my principal also, Dr. Nisar Sheikh. He gave me a free hand in these preparations. I can say now I would not like to what is called as just call one committee, but one technical committee. I would like to thank them very much, my technical committee. I'll tell you, it was mind-blowing. I would like the technical committee to please come over here. The technical committee. Then our, we can say, organizing committee. And in this organizing committee, the core committee of the organizers, as well as all the other committees, okay, the food committee, the accommodation committee, the transport committee, the banners, the bouquets, all this committee, I would not like to name any one of them, but I would definitely like to thank them, everybody, from my very core of my heart. Okay, what a cooperation I got from each and every colleague of mine, each and every colleague for that matter. I will not like to put away anybody, can nobody cooperate, but I said each and every, right from the senior most to the junior most teacher and the non-teaching staff also, everybody was so happy. After this 2 years of pandemic and this break of being at home, it was like a festival for everyone. It was like a celebration for everyone. So it was such a nice thing that we all came together, the teaching and the non-teaching staff, and we could celebrate this in a very nice way. I use the word celebrate. Then all the session in charge, the chairperson, co-chairperson, the moderators, they did a wonderful job. The paper presenters, they did a wonderful job. And of course, our students who regularly came and sat here and listened to each and every session. That was also, a very nice gesture on their part. I thank my regular people who always come for my conferences, Professor Sheshadri, Dr. Amita Valmiki, who has always been my guest. It's like I'm calling my own people from some other colleges, but they come here regularly, and that motivates me to conduct the program. Thank you all. If I have left anyone out, please pardon me for that. But I thank each and every colleague of mine, whether teaching staff and non-teaching staff, from the core of my heart for giving me such a good cooperation, I can tell you. And because of you, this program was successful. Thank you so much, one and all. The technical committee, please come over here, because I would really, because they have been doing this work for so many months together. So the technical committee, definitely I would like to call them, and a big applause for my technical committee. My also core committee, organizing core committee, but I will not call them because I don't want anybody to be left out, but the core committee, the organizers of the core committee, organizing core committee, thank you so much for being there with me, budgeting everything, looking after every small things, the accommodation, the transportation, everything. I'm just not naming any one person because I don't want others to be offended, but each and every member, the core committee, especially of the organizing committee. Please, we would like to have, that group photo with the IOS people also. Yeah, before that, I would request my friend Hamidullah Marazi to speak few words of thank you and gratitude.
थैंक यू वेरी मच. जुदाई बली नहीं होती, जुदाई लाजिम है हर किसी के लिए. दिस इज़ ए वेरी लॉन्ग पोएम ऑफ माइन, बट आई विल नॉट रिसाइट होल. So we feel in a sense very much gratified, but also sad. Sad because we are just departing. Really, we got such a love from this college. We can't never forget Mushtaq Sahab. I was just leaving my home and I got his call. And then he followed me till I reached to this place. So this love and his, and then he took us to many places of Bombay, and he made us to see the Mannat and Mahabub Statue, and although we could not become heroes, but we could see the places of heroes. And then we have great people like Kamran Sahab, and then Sohail Faqih Sahab, Anis Sahab, and Nisar Sheikh Sahab, our principal, honorable principal, and so many others. I don't remember their names, but I remember their smile on their face all the time. They were so nice, so good, and they would make us to eat more and more food and bringing, to show that they love us. And we have organized so many conferences in different parts of the world and in our country. But this was a special, I should say, program. And we feel as we were making this program in our own place, IOS headquarters, no difference. Everything was so familiar, so lovely. And especially the ladies can manage the world better. As Abdul Sahab had said, this may be also one of the reasons. But although there are men also, but ladies could just manage it better. So we are very thankful to all of you. And inshallah, we will be just having, MOU with you also. And we will go a long way to have association, inshallah. And I am so thankful to the professors from Malaysia, from USA. On one call, on click, they accepted our invitation. Otherwise, it takes months together to convince them. But we have made that rapport with them, alhamdulillah. And you will find that we are just doing this, work like this, inshallah. And here also we'll be doing this. And I remember Salahuddin, my friend, and then Valmiki ji, we had just met online, but offline we could meet here only. And then Professor Shashadri Sahab, and so many great people. I don't remember all names, and Madam especially, Pamita. Yeah, so she was so nice. And then we have poets also here. And the poets can also sing. I could feel only here. Poet can sing also a ghazal. Yesterday we saw it. So, and mashallah, so many others. And especially the IT department. They are so professional. I could never expect from a college that there can be such professional people. They never made us to fail in any program. So you are, inshallah, well equipped to face the new world. And you can just work like a university. So inshallah, in this way, we are hopeful that inshallah in future, we will be having better programs and in a bigger way. We will bring you to Delhi and Kashmir will come here also, no problem. And now there is no Article 370, no, there is no problem. We can go anywhere now. So in this way, mashallah, it was a great success, I should say. And the girls here, so nice. And this last program, mashallah, they showed their power, woman empowerment. So this is great. So we wish you all the best. And from Dr. Manzoor Alam Sahab, he is our patron, he is our mentor. And I have been working with him for the last 35 years. And we could feel that he is patronizing us. It is because of his efforts that we are able to do something, achieve something. And I am so happy that, as Sohail Faqih Sahab has rightly said, Shafi Faqih Sahab, that he has mentioned about his name. Really, he has been our mentor. And he made us to work like this in a team. We are just like brothers, like family. We have no problem, no ego problem at all. And we wanted you to perform better, but you performed the best. So we are so thankful to you. So with these words, I also, IT cell especially, Madam is so concerned about IT cell because they have impressed us a lot. And I also thank Professor Afzal Wani Sahab. So he has become so wise now. He is always giving so good advices. We have been friends for 40 years. But now he has become so wise, I was not knowing. MashaAllah, he just spoke his mind here and his heart as well. And we are also very thankful to Professor Hasina Hasha, our sister. So she has been also working with us for a long time. And then Muhammad Alam and Ibrahim Alam and Ataur Rahman. Ataur Rahman was not sitting for a moment. He was on our head. And Alhamdulillah, he has that trait. He is the person who is managing everything in our iOS. And then we have Samra Firdos. She is also very hardworking. And then Rashid Sahab, Rashid Anwar. So he was always thinking how to make the program the best. And he was the connecting link between us. So, and I can name so many Parvezes there, and if I name, it will take a lot of time. But I thank one and all, from the iOS and from the Momin College for Women, and for all the people who are here, who made this function a very successful event. And your presence means a lot for us. And we hope that we will be meeting, especially our Chawan Sahab. He gave a new dimension to the whole program by educating us about Indian Constitution. And he said that we should read it, we should know it, to know our rights. And in this way, and then Merchant Sahab and Oblaziz Margot Sahab and Chaman Kha Sahab, Sahiba from USA, and so many others, all were important. And they had some message to convey because they are from the field of academics. And academics and education is the only hope in these dark ages when we are suffering from all type of ailments. And we need such type of dialogues and meetings again and again. Let us make this world better. And I end with this. As Nehru had said once, the only alternative to coexistence is co-destruction. Let us coexist, not co-destruct. So with these words, I once again thank you all, especially the madam, she is from English, and she managed it well, and the last session she conducted in such a nice way. I am so happy that our sister, she could just manage the program very nicely. Thank you all. Thank you very much. Photo system we can have. We can have it there or here. So हाँ ये बाकी लोग रहेंगे.
Yeah, I request all the management members who are there here, please come over here. Uzair sir, please come here. Yeah, leaving. Okay. The staff members, teaching, non-teaching, everybody, please come here. The teaching staff. The teaching staff, please come over here. Please, everybody, come quickly. We'll not waste our time. Even you all have to go home. Yeah.
We need one more chair for you.
The iOS people, please come here now, all of you all, the administrative staff, please come. आइए ना.
Please, sir,
मैं कहीं से भी दिख जाऊँ मैं भी पीछे दिख जाऊँ स्पेशल इफेक्ट्स में डाल सकता हूँ.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Non-teaching staff, please.
सब एक ही यूनिफॉर्म में कितना अच्छा लग रहा है.
संभाल के आप.